Okay. Yeah, once again, let me welcome us to this program. Today, this is artificial intelligence and computational modeling platform. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we
All
can
right.
see.
Yeah, and today I want us to look at, we are starting with the introduction to artificial intelligence. And like the name implies, artificial intelligence. And in this context today, you guys will learn about definition, what is artificial intelligence, the general meaning of artificial intelligence, the early history of artificial intelligence, application of AI, feature and the present and the future and dimension of AI, and advantages of AI, limitation of AI, and program languages of AI. Then we have conclusion. So when we're talking about artificial intelligence, it's the study of computer system that adopt to model and apply intelligence of human mind. Artificial intelligence, we are making the computer system to imbibe the thinking, to act the way human beings do. So we are just trying to make a computer system that we apply the artificial intelligence of similar to human mind, and AI is the intelligence of machine and the branch of computer science, which aim to create it. So artificial intelligence has to do with an approach by which the system is allowed to think or behave in a similar manner like men. You understand? But in this case, we are using a computer and we use some sophisticated computer-based algorithm, to achieve this. Okay. So, anybody saying anything? So another way we can say is a branch of computer science dealing with the simulation of intelligent behavior in computer. We are trying to simulate, is an aspect of computer science that simulates, you understand, the intelligence behavior. Hello, is there? Please kindly mute so I won't distract others. So artificial intelligence, like I've said, is an approach that tries to simulate intelligence behavior of human being into a computer. And let me say this, artificial intelligence is not only about computer science. It's not only computer science alone, it has to do with computer science, statistics, mathematics. And this has been used, it has been applied in different forms of life these days with the advent of artificial intelligence. And the history of artificial intelligence shows that it dated back to 1950, when an English mathematician, Alan Turing, wrote a landmark paper titled Computing Machinery, an intelligence that asks the question, can machine think? Out of curiosity, some people just sit down and say, okay, can't we design a machine? Can't we design a kind of robotic that we think or behave and act like human being? That was the beginning of the whole story. And if you look at it, every space of life, you imagine the way you talk to your computer, the way you talk to Alexia and the rest. So they are like machines now thinking with human behavior. So that's what they do. So that's what the man was talking about. It was just like an idea, Imagine just thinking, can I do this? So that was the way the man too was thinking at computing machinery and intelligence that can machine think. He was just thinking. And that's how ideas came up. And from there, since that 1950, people started thinking, okay, maybe we can have some machines that can behave and think in the same way woman does. You understand? So further, in 1956, at a workshop in that month, in a proposal for workshop, he coined out a new phrase, a study of artificial intelligence. Initially he was thinking, can machine think in the same way? Then after he think, yes, it's possible. And I said, okay, if machine can think in that same way, then we have to make it artificial intelligence. Just like when we say artificial intelligence, the opposite is natural intelligence. And we human beings, biologically, we develop our brain and we're able to differentiate between right and left, good and bad. You are able to take information, process the information, and get out some meaningful thoughts, right? So the same way this guy was thinking that we can do a computer or any form of machine should be able to do the same thing, put information into it, they decide based on the information you put into it, they give you a decision. So he said, okay, this is going to be called, it's going to be a study of artificial intelligence. And later on, he says machine will be capable within 20 years of doing any work a man can do. 20 years, that was 1956. And that means 20 years after 1956 should be 1976, right? And he said, in years to come, machine will be able to do what man can do. And 2 years after, that's 1958, some MIT researcher Marvin Minsky predicted within a generation, the man that started this thing was thinking about 20 years. But another man said within a generation, the problem of creating artificial intelligence will substantially be solved. And let's be sincere with ourselves. Look at what we have today. Look at what if we take artificial intelligence out of your lifestyle now, do you think you can survive one day? Let's assume your GPRS is not working, your phone is not working, all those internet, those things, all those applications you use on your phone are not working. Imagine how it's going to be. It will be as if you are in a desert, living alone, nobody's there. So can you see that? So after sometimes now, this idea that started with the man in 1950 started dominating, and look at the generation we have now, they can see the manifestation of what he thought. So let's talk about some application of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is what you do, what you interact with daily. An example of them is our mobile phones. Siri, you sit at the comfort of your house, Siri, do this. Siri, kindly call Temi. Siri, kindly call Prof. Kindly call that and this and that. And they do that. I know, can you imagine? It's just like you talking to a fellow, a student, a colleague. James, kindly call this person for me, and the person dialed the number. Kindly do this. The same way you talk to your Siri, to the phone, to the mobile phone. The mobile phone receive your information from your mouth, process the information, identify the name you mentioned on the system. Can you see? You gave the information to the mobile phone. The mobile phone through Siri process the information and give you a desired output. Let's look at video games. Can you imagine? Look at the way PS and the rest are going. When they are playing PS, it will be as if you are looking at Ronaldo or any other player physically. You understand? Look at what we have with 3D visions now. All those things, facial recognition, voice recognition, GPRS, you moving from one place to another place. Even if you want to travel from here to DC, you don't need to be disturbed about how will I get there. All you just need to do, put the information on your phone GPRS, and before you do anything, you already find yourself in DC. That's artificial intelligence, machine taking information. You understand? Process the information and think like man. I can just go to a friend, okay, please, I want to go to DC. How do I go? It can put together a description. Okay, when you move from here, you go to this place, you go to this place. But that thing, your Siri, your GPRS is doing it. Look, can you imagine that? And that was exactly what the man said earlier, that you want a situation whereby machine will be able to think, machine will be able to process information in a similar manner with men, with women, and give us the desired output. So that is the way. Look at the VAR, virtual assistant referee in soccer game these days. When instead of you disputing, is it a goal, is not a goal, is it a goal, is not a goal? No. All you have to do, just go and look at the VAR. The VAR will analyze from every angle that you can think of that, okay, this does not cross the line, this is an offense, this is not an offense. Can you imagine? So that's one application of artificial intelligence. What about Google? Google has been a major play on AI, deep learning, transcendence, and the rest. Imagine how wonderful Google has been doing. So those are some of the applications. So AI that started like an idea in the 1950s has now grown to the point that everybody in one way or that interact with the idea. And we can see that now. Let's look at speech recognition. You give instructions, and the instruction is being executed by your machine, either by Alexia, Siri, or even any other applications that you might think of. Let's look speech recognition. Some computer uses speech. Like when I started my recording, you can see as I was speaking, my system was giving an interpretation of what I was saying. That's AI, and many more. And also have the application in healthcare. These days, there are computer-based algorithm whereby they just use ordinary showing image will tell you whether this is a breast cancer or this is not a breast cancer. Ordinary showing your face will tell you who you are. Automobile, we have self-driving cars by Tesla, by every major car makers, automobile makers. We have out of our finance. Look at it. You look at your applications. Your mobile bank applications gives you information about how you spend your money. What about surveillance camera? Look at surveillance camera by the toll HOV lane. No matter how speed you are, that camera is going to pick your car. It's going to pick your plate number. That's AI in action. Social media. Everybody is either you are on Instagram, you are on Facebook, you are on Twitter tweeting, you are on anything you can, TikTok. That's, can you see? And if you look YouTube, look at YouTube. By the time you watch a video in YouTube now, it will bring to you some video related to what you watch on YouTube. Even you searching for something on your phone, just search for one thing, or you are just saying it in your, I don't know, maybe it has happened to anybody. You searching for something on your phone or saying it, before you know it, you begin to see advert on your phone. Can you imagine? That's AI. Entertainment. People make use of this. Education. You know, gone are those days when you have to do everything manually. These days, you sit at the comfort of your hostel, at the comfort of your house, and you make use of this, and you get something reasonable. What about space exploration? People go to space. What they couldn't do years back, they are able to do it now. Can you imagine? What about game, PS, robotics, agriculture, e-commerce, anything you can think of? Those are the application of artificial intelligence. It's available. It's everywhere. People see it. You use it, I use it. So what started like an idea is now something that we cannot do without now. And to be sincere, these things are making life comfortable. They make work easier and faster for us. And let's look at some of the features of AI. Also, some of the things we've talked about. Drug design. We use AI in drug design. We are going to work on projects like that. You don't need to give patient drugs, this and that, before you know it's going to work. You can design it on your laptop. You design your drugs on the laptop without using applications, AI applications. You make use of them. They will tell you, okay, this drug is not going to cure this disease. This drug is going to cure this disease with almost 99% accuracy. That's AI. Diagnosis. I'm going to work on that. Maybe by the time we get to the second part of this project, we are going to do some AI study, whereby we are going to have some pictures of different cases. We put it, and our model will tell us, okay, this picture is disease, this one is not disease. Even ordinary coughing will tell you that this person has COVID through the cough. That's AI. Self-driving cars we've mentioned. Improved medical care and treatment. With what we have now, I'm telling you, there's still going to be improvements. There are still going to be improvement in everything we've seen. I'm telling you, what you have seen this year, in a couple of years, 10 years, it will be more advanced than that. Look at the difference we've seen in the past 20 years. And that is how AI is going at a fast rate. In fact, some are even scared if AI is not going to kick human beings out of their jobs. Because when you have this AI doing anything that a man can do, then some company will be like, okay, we don't even need to hire workers. Let's just get robots and do all those things. You understand what I'm saying? Let's open up doors to features. It opens doors to features, to the features. You understand? People should see new ideas, things that you can never even imagine, and a lot of them. So we've seen AI at place at healthcare, security and defense, education, banking and finance, automobile, manufacturing, entertainment, workplace, anything you can think of. You understand? You can think of in your, even whether you are in engineering, look at it, you see AI at work. If you are in pharmacy, biological science, any area of science that you might find yourself, AI is at work. And I'm telling you, mark my word, what you are seeing now, I'm telling you, is going to be insignificant. It will be lower to what you are going to see in the futures to come. That's to tell you how AI is going, where we are going. I know a lot of things you can't even imagine it 20 years ago. Now look at it now, we get it. AI is being used in the military to do all sorts of things. So what are some of the advantages of AI? I just want us to have this idea so that we know exactly what we have signed into, and it will broaden our scope of reasoning. One, it can help improve our way of life. Like we've said, look at it, you going to a place, you don't need to be bothered. All you just need to do, okay, go to your GPRS, put the address, and you drive comfortably. Instead of you driving and asking people, where should I turn? No, you don't need to do that. Just put the information, the address, information on your GPRS, it takes you there. So these things makes life easier for us. Machine will be able to do jobs that require detailed instructions. Can you imagine? There are a lot of military weapons that they develop now that they use with little efforts. So this AI will be able to give us machines that will be able to do a lot of jobs that require meticulous now. So they'll be able to do it, a lot of things. I was reading about some times ago that it takes 16 hours to put together a Toyota car. But with the help of robotics, they were able to produce hundreds of Toyota car in 16 hours. But if that should be done by human being, imagine the number of years if it takes machine 16 hours. Imagine the number of years the number of days or hours is going to take set of some group of human beings. So these things, they are able to do things, mental alertness and decision making. In fact, this is where AI is working now. You can see if you look at Google, if you look at Facebook, if you look at major industries, they get data, people's review about their products, people's decision about their product, how people are responding to their product. They get all this information to be able to decide, okay, which product are people buying most? Which product are people complaining about most? So they make AI, all the review you see on Amazon, on the rest, they are not just ordinary review. They make use of those reviews using artificial intelligence to make decisions. Okay, these are the complaints of our customers regarding this product. Okay, how many customers are complaining? How many customers are satisfied with the deliveries and the packages? They use AI, and because of that, they are able to make decisions at the end of it. What about use of robotics for heavy construction, military benefits? Can you imagine? Military, a country will be here and they'll be sending drones, weapons, thousands of miles away. That's AI at work. Even for personal assistance and at private homes, people now buy robot machines that assist them at home, maybe to clean the floor, to mop the mug, the rug, every other thing. Those are the advantages of AI that we see every day. And there will be and also there will be less injuries and stress to human beings. Yes, because when machines are doing those work that are tedious, then human beings will be able to relax and there will be less injuries and stress to them. So many of our health problems now have possible solutions with the help of AI. I'm telling you, there are a lot of now. There is this I don't know if you got the news last week. There was this information by there is this approval of a medical device by FDA that will detect COVID. If someone has COVID through your breath, all you just need to do is just breathe on it, on the machine, and to tell you through your breath whether it is COVID positive or COVID negative. Can you imagine? Look at the thermometer we are using now, the UV thermometer. Because of contact, you don't need to get the contact before you can take temperature. Just put it at distance. It measures. So those are the advantage of AI, countless. And also scientists have been able to use AI to test theories. Yes, to test theories, to test notions. For example, if you design a drug, you want to know, is this drug going to be toxic? You don't need to try it on human being or animal. There are computer algorithms, software that will tell you, okay, this drug, as I'm seeing it, is likely to be toxic, it's likely to be carcinogenic, it's likely to be mutagenic, it's likely to be this and that. It will tell you every information about the property that you may want to think. So this makes things easier, and AI open up new and exciting avenue for entertainment possibilities. Can you imagine? Look at what they are doing in Disney and many lot of places. AI also make interactive electronic games more fun by making the computer control character more realistic and human-like. Can you imagine? I don't know if any of you played the first set of PS. It was like just like cartoon. But now, if you look at what you have now on your current PS, maybe PS4 or 5, it will be as if Ronaldo is the one playing live. Can you see? That's AI, making all those things to be full of fun and even to be more realistic. Do you get the point now? So let's look at some of the limitations of AI generally. When computer become truly intelligent. So what do you think will be the disadvantage of AI when computer is doing everything? To date, all the traits of human intelligence has not been captured and applied together. Up to now, like I said, there is still improvement on AI, and machine has not been able to think 100%. Even I can say they have not been able to think 70% like human being. But now imagine when they're able to think 100% like human being. Definitely some robot will be applying for admission. if I may think. Yes, when we start thinking, some will be okay, I want to apply for, I also want to apply for engineering, like anybody's doing. I also want to apply. So there will be competition between human being and robots, isn't it? So artificial intelligence rather seems to focus on lucrative domain-specific application, which don't necessarily require full extent of AI capacity. There is little doubt among community that artificial intelligence will be capable of intelligence thought in the near future. So people believe AI is going to have full human capacity. So some are concerned. I was reading an article about Elon Musk that was saying he doesn't really believe much in AI because he's scared about the situation whereby this AI thing is taking over from human being. You understand? And that is exactly that's concern of some people. That's concern of some people. And so anything that has advantage, there will always be limitation. And some of this limitation is we have not captured the whole human thinking in the machine, in the AI. No. But I'm telling you, as improvement continues, these things will be achieved. Some of these things will be achieved. So in this program, we are going to do a lot. There are a lot of programming language, I'm telling you, used for AI. And I'm telling you, one of the most widely used applications in AI development, number one of them is Python. I'm telling you, Python, R, Lisp, Prolog, Java, C++, and a lot of programming softwares using Linux distribution, Linux Ubuntu, Unix command, R, all of them. So we are going to take majorly Python and some softwares in this program for the next 9 to 10 months. 8 to 7 months that we are going to work on this. So these are some of the things you are going to work with, and I believe you guys are going to enjoy it. So that's the introduction about AI that we plan today. And if you are interested in which I advise you read more, and let me say this, one of the best way to understand artificial intelligence is to do artificial intelligence. If you want to learn drug discovery using AI, you do it. You don't just read about it or think about it, do it. And that is the lesson I want you guys to learn. Anybody that is interested in doing artificial intelligence, you learn it and you do it. That is it. So you read more about it. If you're interested in textbook, I have textbooks, we can share. So we can go to this and read more about this. So, yeah, so I believe we understand that very well.